Hey, this is Pamela Schneider. I'm the retail editor for Blue Book Services, and this is the Produce Reporter Week in Review. Greg, we've got some stuff to talk about. Part of it is my orange grove. It's topical.
Oranges are hot. It's hot here at the pool. You know it's virtual because these damn pools are closed.
Hey, the pool in my neighborhood's open, but only 25 people can go.
Well, the public ones are not in Kansas City, which is
Oh
amazing.
man, that's a bummer. So oranges this week. This was part of the PMA's weekly report with IRI, written by Anna Marie. Anna Marie and I tried to have a couple of videos, but we had technical difficulties. So I will go over what we talked about, which I will be writing up for a story for today. And so oranges are continuing their crazy dominance in the produce department. They were up yet again, another 50% year over year increase in sales. And this is not orange time. I was at Walmart the other day and there was 8-pound bags of oranges, like a huge display in the reefer case where all the fancy stuff usually is, of 8-pound bags of oranges. And that is not something that you see in July. Not at all.
No, summer is not real. It's not domestic citrus season. In fact, when you first started talking about how big the numbers were, I was wondering where all the product was coming from. It because California's season's over, but evidently there's still plenty in the market.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we were looking at it, and there's some, offshore coming in from South America. Of course, South Africa is a pretty decent supplier of summer citrus for us, but most of their arrivals haven't really. I think the first boat just got here, so they're probably going as quickly as possible to try to capture this market. But it's worthy of note that we had a story with our Ag Tools analysis this week as well. It's not just oranges. When you are looking at the fruit numbers, and I've got them up over here on my other monitor here, almost every citrus fruit is up double digits. And it's crazy numbers, 26% for limes, that 35% in volume actually. So they've actually got a good deal on limes, I guess. Lemons, yeah, lemons.
Yeah, lemons.
They're up 23% in dollars and 23% in volume. This is not the time of year that we would normally see sales for these items. It is the time of year, however, that we would see sales for cherries and stone fruit and melons and grapes. All of those posted kind of anemic numbers. I'm gonna call it anemic. And the retail roundtable breakout session in PMA's town hall this week, they were discussing how some of the numbers may look a little crazy, and it's because it was the week between 4th of July and Father's Day, and 4th of July is a couple of days later. Then it's because of leap year. There was some gymnastics involved in the explanations. Long story short, they expect huge numbers coming out of 4th of July. But Anna Marie and I talked about it, and really the holidays have really been huge spikes for people because there's so much entertaining at home and not out at the pool, for example, that we really wonder what's going to happen in the summer doldrums with a lot of these fruit numbers, especially. Any impulse item is probably going to suffer.
Yeah, there's a lot less lingering going on in the stores, and with the rise of online and click and collect, people aren't even going through the produce department. But even when they are, they're not taking their time. They're breezing through, and a lot of vegetables are still doing really well. So I guess people when they eat out, eat a lot of vegetables, and now that a lot of people are not doing that, so they're getting them at the stores. I see the salad numbers are still killing it, which is
items like artichokes and Brussels sprouts and leeks, of all things, are killing it. Not just killing it, it's like 35% minimum year over year gains in volume and dollars for these items. So these are things that you normally would have seen or experienced at a restaurant, and instead you're looking up a recipe and making it at home. That's something that goes on a list. Maybe cherries don't go on a list. Cherries are like fruit in general for me is something that I pick up on impulse at the store. I plan my purchase for fruit, but I don't go, I'm going to buy apples, cherries, pears, peaches. I just know I'll get whatever looks good, or for me, whatever smells good at the store. And right now I got a mask on. I can't smell anything. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on with those things, and definitely watch them. Anna Marie did have some advice for anything that has kind of a health or immunity boost to it. That's now is the time to promote, because obviously people are gravitating toward oranges, vitamin C, the immunity boost. So I know that there's a lot of that going on in the vegetable department and other fruits as well. One of the areas oh wait, go ahead.
I was going to say oranges are not showing up in very many food boxes that I'm seeing.
No,
that I'm hearing about now.
no. We got to get our weekly food box news in. Yeah, noteworthy. You don't see a whole lot of oranges going into these boxes. What you do see are items that are actually, you might even be seeing some effect of the 34.5 million boxes to date that have been invoiced through the USDA. Items like apples, the sales for apples are flat. Potatoes are no longer gangbusters on volume anymore. Some lettuces, I mean, the volume is okay. It's not amazing, but I've seen those in boxes. Carrots, I've seen those in boxes as well. So some of those items you actually see kind of flat sales. So.
Yeah, you have. And the food box news this week was USDA made public the list of companies that were renewed, and about a dozen or so that were new ones to the list. And I saw that list and reached out to a few of them and got to interview Titan Farms out of South Carolina. And I talked to Scott Williams there, and I'm sorry, Ross Williams. And Ross was really cool. And it was the story I was hoping to hear, because we know Titan Farms is a real leader in the produce industry and a very well-run organization, a grower shipper. They're well known for their peaches. And he said, basically, this kind of food box thing is in our wheelhouse. And this is exactly the kind of thing we do. And within days of getting the contract, they're already shipping. I talked to him less than a week after they started the contract. One of the things he said that was interesting, and I was wondering if it would be the case, he said after they applied for the first round and didn't get it, they didn't hear anything besides that they didn't get it. They didn't follow up. They didn't hear anything from USDA. And then in late June, someone from USDA contacted them and said, we think you should resubmit your bid. And apparently they had like less than a week to do it. So basically they said, USDA told them, we have a need in the Southeast and we think your bid would do it. Submit a new bid. And within a couple days, they did a new bid and found out that they got it, and then immediately started right up.
The most fascinating part of your story was that they bid and got a certain amount and actually negotiated higher. I was like, go Titan Farms, way to go.
Yeah, they couldn't say what it was because it wasn't official yet. So as soon as we find that out, we'll put that on the site. It made it sound like it was considerably larger than what they got, the bid they got, which was just shy of $6 million.
During my quarantine kitchen doldrums, I legitimately was looking at Soylent, which is a meal replacement shake, because I am so tired. I didn't even know
what that was. So it's like Ensure?
Yes, it's like Ensure, only it's like hipster Ensure, because only the cool kids know what Soylent actually is. It's Soylent Green is people, right?
Yeah.
Only hipster movie nerds know what that is. So it's I actually sat in the store, or stood in the aisle in the store going, maybe I could just sneak this in for like a meal a day, because I'm so done with cooking. So some of the ideas that they had from the members helping members thing came up with convenient staples and jazz up your store staples. It reminded me of watching Semi-Homemade Cooking with Sandra Lee, where she buys a angel food cake and a thing of Cool Whip and dumps some can of cherries on it and calls it homemade. But no, these are really great ideas. I will never eat watermelon pizza though. It's just not going to happen for me. But I like watermelon by itself. But just
I would eat that before I ate the rind.
You have a real problem with watermelon rind. I don't think I've
Yes,
ever actually
it's
eaten
garbage.
watermelon rind pickles yet. But I've even made fondue already. And maybe I'll make it again. We'll see. In my quarantine doldrums complaints is that I made that graphic for it, and it's like, can someone just come cook this for me and clean up my kitchen? And I feel like the food service world is like shaking their fist at me going, well, order out. And I'm like, yeah, I could order out, except I can't afford, you know, food service for every meal. And it is such a pain in the booty to get my entire family to agree on a place that is not pizza and fried chicken and burgers. So it's really difficult to find, one, something everyone agrees on, two, something that is healthy, and three, something that is affordable. I feel like it's one of those Venn diagrams where it's like, pick two. You can't have all three.
That's right.
So sorry, food service. I'm still gonna be maybe drinking Soylent by the end of this. I have no idea. Well, that's it for the Produce Reporter Week in Review. If you are not getting the Produce Reporter newsletter, you're missing out. Go to producebluebook.com and sign up. My new glasses are getting fogged up from talking too much in here.
Well, it's warm in the orchard.
It is warm in the orchard. You know what else though we have, and I have a jersey for that, and I have a prop. It's MLS season. Come on. How is this? Here we go. It's MLS season, yo.
Yeah, that's true. It just started. Well, I got my official MLS soccer ball.
Unfortunately, this one won't fit me because it's Ike's. But unfortunately, he's also not playing for them anymore, although he's the leading scorer at AC Milan again. Still 39 years old, still killing it. But
he's a stud.
They just started selling tickets for the Austin FC, and I'm a little leery of buying season tickets for soccer right now.
Yeah, I would not do